Welcome to the Game Sense Football Podcast. I'm Ewan, and with me is Naz.
Hello.
In today's episode, Naz and I will once again draft out our team selections, but this time based on the worst signings ever in the Premier League. Yes, and of course, before we begin, if you enjoy our content, do consider subscribing to our podcast, and we greatly appreciate your support. And remember to also check us out on Instagram at GameSenseFootball. All right, so Nas, what's an experience that you consider to be one of the worst you've ever had?
Worst experience.
Could be in anything. I try to be as open-ended as possible so that it's easier for you to find something.
Okay, so years ago when I was in university, some of my friends and I decided to go to Krabi in Thailand.
Okay.
And those who know me very well know I'm not much of a beach person. I'm very Anakin Skywalker. I hate sand. But I went with my then girlfriend, not my current wife. It was my old ex-girlfriend, and it was fine. Everything was fine until and on the second last day, I think we went snorkeling, and before we went into the water, the guide told us, okay, if you get a cut, please let us know. And because we have to give you this medicine because there's a microbe in the water which can lead to some flesh-eating shenanigans.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
So we go snorkeling, it's fine. I go back up and I have a cut on my leg and I have no idea how long that cut has been bleeding. Fine. I go back to the hotel and I don't feel well through the day. Halfway through the afternoon, there's no nice way of putting this, but I projectile vomit like the Malayan all over a road in Krabi. Go back to the hotel, clean myself up, go for dinner. And at dinner, I feel really terrible, okay? And my hands are numb. I'm unable to speak and just I can't feel my tongue.
Oh shit! Sounds bad, man.
Yeah, I know. I find it hard to breathe, and all the owner of the restaurant comes and puts a spoon under my tongue. He puts me onto his motorbike because there's no ambulance or anything on the island. We race to the beach. Have to hire one of those long boats.
Yeah.
Get back to the mainland. Have to wait another half an hour for the ambulance to actually get there. In the ambulance, I am struggling to stay awake because all you grow up with all the TV shows telling you, stay with me, don't fall asleep, close your eyes, don't close your eyes, things like that. So I'm struggling to stay awake. I'm in so much pain. Get to the hospital, and then the doctor looks at me and says, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine." Next day, doctor tells me, "Oh yeah, I mean, you probably just had a very bad case of dehydration, which led to hyperventilation and that's why your hands were cramping. That's why you couldn't breathe properly." And he says to me, "The very strange thing is that usually when it gets this bad, people faint or lose consciousness, and when they do, they get better immediately." Yeah, because your body relaxes. So I was forcing myself to stay awake and just making it worse. They said, "Yep."
So basically, probably nothing to do with the cut that you got.
Yeah, but
from the
I
water.
was thinking I had some weird microbe that was eating my brain.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully it wasn't that serious, but what a strange story.
Very, very weird. I mean, the whole ordeal cost less than 20 Singapore dollars. So
okay.
So at least
I guess if you want to
that.
pick out the positives from that.
Yeah.
And you ended up, with another goal. So man.
Yeah.
On to our main part of the episode. Talking about bad signings, right? We're gonna do something similar to what we did in the last episode.
The not nominated.
The non-nominated, yes, that's right.
Yes.
I'm gonna find the words. The non-nominated Ballon d'Or Best 11.
Yes.
Today we are doing worst 11 from the Premier League, worst signings ever. We'll do it in a similar format where Nas will start this time with the goalkeeping position, then followed by me and the goalkeeper, and then after that I will start for the next position, and we'll just take turns doing that. Okay, so are you ready with it, Nas?
Unfortunately, yes, this is going to be two horrendous teams.
Pretty sure.
Okay, so for the goalkeeper, I had two picks, but I'm going with Claudio Bravo.
Claudio Bravo.
Yes,
Hmm.
who signed for Man City.
Yes. What's so bad about Claudio Bravo?
He wasn't a total abject failure, but I put him here because one, he never lived up to his levels which he showed at Barcelona under Pep Guardiola.
Mm-hmm.
He was there to replace Joe Hart, who Guardiola very quickly froze out. And Joe Hart had been very successful at City, but was said not to be able to play out and use his feet well. So Claudio
Yep.
Bravo came in, supposed to be Pep's lieutenant, right? And just the only real thing I can remember about Claudio Bravo is him getting sent off in the Champions League. And very quickly, Pep just moved on from that, went to Edison. And so it's one of the few transfer mistakes Pep has had, a City have had, in at least during Pep's reign.
Mm-hmm.
And you could very well say, and rightfully say, they've moved on quickly from that. But in those 1-2 years, it was a real problem for them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember him doing too well.
Mm,
I guess there's not much to even speak of him, right? You
yeah,
think?
he was supposed to transform City into the Pep machine, which is why they got rid of Joe Hart, who had won so many titles with them, and just didn't.
Okay, so for mine, the kind of keeper who would probably throw the ball into his net and still, it would feel very normal.
Okay,
Probably, yeah, Massimo Taibi.
Massimo Taibi. Yeah.
He was I mean, this is really an abject failure of a
Yes.
goalkeeper of a signing.
He joined United from, was it Milan?
I think Venezia.
Okay, yeah, yes, Venezia, yeah. He was backup keeper at AC Milan for a while. He, when he first joined United, I was very excited because I knew in FM he used to be quite good because I
Football
used to,
manager.
to 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 use Milan a bit. So I was quite happy. His first game, he played very well, if you remember. 3-2 against Liverpool.
He was man of the match or
Yeah,
something.
man of the match.
First
That's the
game.
game Carragher scores 2 own goals.
Yeah, well, Carragher, yes. He also played in that disastrous game where he let in the goal between his legs
Yes.
from a Matt Letitia shot.
Southampton, right? Yeah.
Yes. So after that, I think Fergie just couldn't take it anymore.
Mm.
Shipped him out rather quickly.
I think he left United to go to Udinese or Torino. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling it's one of those. And in his first
Mm-hmm.
season back in Italy, he scored a winning goal.
Yeah, well, there you go. Not terribly bad, and I think that's what a lot of the players on this list will be.
Mm.
Not bad players in and on themselves, but just
Bad
bad
signings.
signings
Yeah.
for one
Whatever
reason or
reason.
another.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Who's your second keeper, by the way,
Mark
Nas?
Bosnich, also United.
I was thinking about Mark Bosnich as one of them. I settled on Kepa as a backup choice.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's like what? He still holds the world record for most expensive keeper,
Yes.
I think, as of now, 72 million pounds. And he has done like nothing,
Nothing.
right? So we only, I think for me at least, I only remember him most for not wanting to come off when
Oh, the penalty
Sari
shootout.
was
Yeah.
wanted to sub him out. Other
Yes.
than that, it's like, it's nothing really.
Yeah. Yeah. I went with Bosnich. He was bad for United. Australian
Mm.
keeper signed from Aston Villa to replace Peter Schmeichel. Paul Scholes recently said that Mark Bosnich is the most unprofessional player he's ever seen. And he said he couldn't kick a ball. He couldn't kick a ball to reach the halfway line.
Mark Bosnich at Chelsea was probably even worse than Mark Bosnich at
Mm,
United.
mm,
Yeah,
yes.
at least he got games at United.
There's been a few bad United signings that Chelsea have signed.
Yes, I think maybe we can mention some of them later on. I do have
Maybe we might
one or
we might
two more
mention
on
a
the
couple.
list.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Right back, I guess.
Right back.
I will go first
Mm,
this time. I think before the episode we were saying, right back and left back, the fullbacks,
mhm.
very difficult choices. Not many big high profile flops. So I'm going with Khalid Boularouche who
Ah,
has played on the right quite a bit during his
okay.
time with Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yes, signed by Jose Mourinho.
Hmm.
Khalid Boularouche did well for one of the big tournaments for Holland,
Hmm.
for the Netherlands. That's how he became kind of popular, I guess, known as the cannibal. Was it?
I
Or was
think
it the
so.
animal cannibal?
I think Cannibal.
Cannibal. That's right. Basically, he can probably eat people better than he can defend. Um, Known for his aggression and
Mm.
probably nothing much else, to be honest. Not really, didn't really show that he could defend very well,
Hmm.
but was just very rough in his play and not much else.
Did he also wear the number 9 shirt?
He wore the number 9, yes. So this is
Uh,
one of the other reasons why I was quite happy to pick Belarus because it would give you great memories.
yes, yes, yes. The one memory I have of Khalid Boulahrouz is what is this idiot defender wearing number 9?
Yep.
Yep. So my choice at right back is actually quite similar to yours in that maybe not a natural right back, but
Mm-hmm.
he has played right back and he has the attributes to play right back. It's Phil Jones.
Phil
Phil
Jones.
Jones, Blackburn
Sad
to Man
story.
United. Yeah, remember how he was actually very good in his first season?
He was very good, and he actually was very, very good with Blackburn as well.
Yeah. He was like so
Yep.
good and like Duncan Edwards and Alex Ferguson have said, I mean, Duncan Edwards said that,
No.
no, 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 Bobby Charlton, sorry. Bobby Charlton said that he reminded him of Duncan Edwards, and
Duncan.
Ferguson said
Yes.
that Phil Jones could be Man United's best ever player.
Yes.
And after that, his last 4 seasons at Man United, he played 2040 games. Not 2,000 games, but that's the number of games he played each season.
In each season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad actually to see how far he fell. And actually, I mean something strange that was that he came out to the media in one of those rare interviews, I guess, saying that he was actually fit for one of those last few seasons, but he just wasn't picked.
Mm.
I guess the club kind of lost faith in him as well, and in him being, yeah, fit is one way to put it, but match fit,
Yeah.
is
But
debatable, I
the, the,
guess.
the thing is, even though the club might have lost faith, they kept giving him new contracts.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. And in the end, he's just known more for like memes than actually playing?
Okay, Phil Jones, nice, that's a good choice. Okay, we'll go with your style, and we'll go with left back now. Oh no, sorry, center back now.
Centre
Sorry,
back. Okay.
center back, your style. Okay.
So centre back, I have 5 options for 2 positions. But the one
Ah,
I definitely have to pick is Winston Bogart,
that's
who
a good one.
who joined Chelsea from Barcelona,
Mm-hmm.
Dutch defender, quite good. He was signed by Gianluca Vialli, who was player manager, and then got sacked.
Mm.
Then Claudio Ranieri came in. This is before Leicester, obviously. And Ranieri just didn't like him, didn't fancy him, and Bogart literally spent the rest of his entire time at Chelsea just sitting in the reserves, collecting money and not doing anything. Because they tried to sell him, they tried to loan him, but he wouldn't accept a wage cut because he was on a lot of money. And you could argue that this guy doesn't want to play football. He's not maybe this can question his sporting integrity or whatever, his ambition. But if you're on a lot of money on a long contract at Chelsea, why wouldn't you take the money?
Yep.
Later on, when he retired, this was brought up to him, and people asked, "How do you feel being considered one of the worst transfers in history?" And he said, "I may be one of the worst buys in the history of the Premiership, but I don't care."
I mean, that's the attitude, man.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's a job for them, right? They're there for the money. I
yeah.
mean, of course, it's cool to be doing something like playing football rather than working in a factory or an office, even,
Mm.
right? But at the end of the day, it's all about, taking home your paycheck. So one of my first choice bad defender would be Eliakim Mangala.
Oh, that was my second one, defender.
Yes, yes. So Man City.
Yes.
He was signed for 40 plus million pounds from Porto. He wasn't great. I think Manuel Pellegrini signed him.
Hmm.
Wasn't great under Pellegrini. When Pep came in, he was like frozen out.
Yeah.
Played like less than 5 more games under Pep or something before being allowed to leave eventually for Valencia on a free transfer.
Hmm.
Imagine that,
What a
right? So
loss.
yes, 40 over million. Back then, I think 2014, yeah, 2015. That was a huge amount at
Mm.
that time. And for a defender,
Good pick, good pick.
yes.
That was actually my next player. So I'll have to go to with my second choice.
So this time I will go first. I would go with Jean-Alain Boumsong.
Boom song. Okay.
Boumsong. Newcastle have had so many
Bet.
bad signings as defenders, even, right? Just
Yes.
talk about the defenders alone. Like there's
Yeah.
Boomsong, there's
Titus
Titus
Bramble. Yeah.
Bramble, and
Two of
another
them.
one was Marcelinho.
Mm.
All terrible. I would go with Boomsong because I mean the guy clearly, I mean he played quite a number of matches to
Mm-hmm.
his credit, but he looked helpless in most of them.
Yeah.
And he's got some fantastic goals, own goals though.
A walking mistake. Jonathan Boom song.
Yes, he was. Um, Never looked comfortable
Mm-hmm.
whenever the ball came to him, regardless of whether he's supposed to be making a tackle or clearance.
Yeah.
So there you go. Boom song for me.
Mm. So since you've gone with Mangala, my
Mm-hmm.
pick is going to be Igor Stepanovs for Arsenal.
Oh, that guy,
Yeah.
man.
So I think he's a Latvian defender. They signed him from Skonto Riga,
Mm-hmm.
who I guess are a Latvian club, I think.
Riga. Yeah. Riga
Yeah.
is in
Riga is Latvia.
Latvia.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So I've always thought he was at best an average player, but a couple of years ago, Ray Parler wrote in his, I think, autobiography, and an excerpt found its way online,
Mm-hmm.
and he talks about Igor Stepanovs specifically. Okay, and it
Okay.
turns out this, according to Ray Parler, Stepanovs was on trial at Arsenal, and everyone straight away could see he was kind of shit.
How did he get signed then?
So here's the story. So at the time, whenever a new defender was on trial at Arsenal, Martin Keown, who obviously was the incumbent centre back there, would always give them a hard time because he didn't want to lose his position. So Ray
Fair
Parler
enough.
and Dennis Bergkamp made a bet.
Okay.
They wanted to see who could piss Martin Keown off more by uh making him think Stepanos was better than him. So they bet £50 with each other, and during the trial, they had an 11-a-side game, and every time Stepanos did anything, even if it was a shitty pass, any tackle, any header, they would just, whoa, what a pass! What did you see that? Arsene Wenger, did you see that? What a good pass! And there was once where Stepanos was trying to do a long ball, and it went like so far off. Obviously not where he was aiming, but Bergkamp, I think it was Bergkamp, and by this time Vieira and all were on it in it as well. They went to like tell Wenger, "Oh my God, boss, did you see that ball? The way he disguised the pass." And Wenger signed him on the back of that
Oh my goodness.
and played him.
Oh my goodness.
And his first season was the year Arsenal lost 6-1 to Man United. He was playing,
Oh my goodness.
and at halftime, Ray Parler says that Dwight York goes to the Arsenal players and say, "Where did you get this defender?" So Stepanovs himself has said this is not true, but he would, right?
Of course he would. That's a nice story to go with the selection. So I had another Arsenal defender on my list,
Okay.
Pascal Sigan.
Pascal Sigan. Okay. I had another Arsenal player, Mustafi as well.
Oh, Mustafi.
Yeah. Who
Yeah. So much
I
hype behind his transfer actually
mm,
back then.
only recently found out Mustafi was actually playing for Valencia when they lost 7-0 to Barcelona in Gary Neville's short stint there. He got sent off in that game.
All right. Now we go to the left back. It's your turn.
I found it quite difficult to find not bad left backs, but bad left back transfers. So
Yeah,
my pick is Benjamin Mendy, who went from Monaco to Man City.
that's a really, really good choice. Yeah.
So Benjamin Mendy, French player at City, when he
Mm-hmm.
first went there for a couple of months, he was actually very good, very notable for his runs down the left and low crossing. Then
Yep.
he got an ACL injury in September in his first season. Came back again, was okay, and then got another knee injury.
Mm,
Came back, was okay, and then didn't play for 2 years because
2 years.
he was arrested for some off the field stuff.
Yes.
Eventually, he was found innocent in trial, but like Mangala, you said earlier, he
Mm-hmm.
just such a waste of money for City because eventually they let him go on a free. He was 52 million they bought him for.
52 million.
Hmm.
Whew, crazy.
Yeah, then world record for a defender.
Oh, I think that's a good choice actually. I completely missed that out.
Hmm.
So for me, it would be Paul Konchesky
Paul
for
Konchesky,
Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah. Good.
He didn't play in a great Liverpool team, and even then he was considered quite bad
Yeah.
for them. Yeah, usually quite out of his depth.
He was just like not the standard of player that Liverpool needed. Like, you know, how people said Fellaini isn't a Man United player. It's the same sort of
Yep,
thing. Yeah.
agreed. So even in a bad Liverpool team,
He stood up.
Konchesky, yeah, just wasn't good enough. Honorable mention.
Mhm.
I actually had Jimmy Traore as one of the options as well, but the guy has he has a Champions League medal, so
Mm.
probably slightly better, I guess.
Mm. My second choice left back is also Liverpool.
Ah,
Liverpool and Villa, but Ali Sissoko, also former
Ali
Valencia,
Sissoko, yeah.
like Mustafi. Do you know where Ali Sissoko is playing now?
Now,
Mm.
no idea.
Muang Thong United,
Wang Dong, where is that? Thailand?
Thailand.
Oh,
Thailand.
okay. So now we move into midfield.
Mm.
So I'm going with actually a 4-4-2 type of formation because I wanted to pack another player into the striker position because
Okay.
there are just so many like strikers who are flops.
Yep, that's fair. I've
Yeah.
I've stuck with 4-3-3 anyway.
Mm,
So let's start with center midfield, and I'll go
I'm
first because I need more.
sure.
Mm.
Go ahead.
My first center midfielder
Hmm.
is Danny Drinkwater.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Danny Drinkwater, who is a former Man United youth academy player.
academy player.
Yeah. Most notable for his time at Leicester, part of their title-winning squad,
Mm,
for being Kante's partner in midfield.
yes.
Kante went to Chelsea, but Danny Drinkwater also went to Chelsea for £34 million. He went to Chelsea from Leicester.
Yeah, yeah. Was kind of even before he played for Chelsea, it was said that amount of money was just too much
Hmm,
for a player like Danny Drinkwater.
just a
Um,
limited player. In 5 years for
yeah,
Chelsea, he played 12 times.
yeah, it was so bad. I mean, he really couldn't get into the team. He had a lot of off-field trouble as well, I think.
Yeah, he got arrested a couple of times. Supposedly a property developer now. But yeah, so after 5 years at Chelsea, he just retired.
Yeah. Well, if he's
Yep.
got the money and
Yeah.
he's got a way to grow that money using, property and all
Yeah.
that, why not?
I mean, and as we've seen with Bogart, a lot of former Chelsea players collecting money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The list is, I mean, Boula Rouge on my team is
Mm,
also Chelsea,
mm.
right? My
Even Mark
backup,
Bostich just now.
yeah, and my backup keeper was Kepa.
Ah, yes. We could do it. We could do two Chelsea 11s basically if we wanted.
Yeah, and I assure you, whoever's listening, we're not trying to intentionally shit on Chelsea. Okay, drink water. That
Mm,
was one of my options.
okay.
But I'll go with one really, obvious one.
Okay.
That's Eric Jemba Jemba,
Oh, that
Man United.
when you said obvious, that wasn't who I had in mind, but that's a good one.
Yes, because you know, at one point when he was bought, he was lauded as the successor to Roy Keane,
Mm, mm.
right? And well, nowhere close. I think safe to say. In one interview when Rio Ferdinand was asked about Eric Jemba Jemba, his response was like, "He's a nice guy. Nothing about his football. 2 years at the club, played like 20 games, zero
Mm.
goals, zero assists."
Oof.
Okay, I would like to go with one. To be honest, I do not know how bad he really was, but the situation behind this is so bad that I have to say it. So this guy, Ricky Alvarez,
For Sunderland.
for Sunderland,
Mm,
yes. He came to Sunderland on loan, did okay, I guess, average. It was known at that time that he had a wonky left knee.
mhm.
While playing for Sunderland, he kind of aggravated the right knee.
Okay.
So basically, two bad knees. Yeah, and it's a very incredulous situation because Sunderland actually had agreed to sign him on a permanent after the loan ended. So there's
Mm,
a basically obligation to buy. But Sunderland didn't want to pay for him because
injured.
the guy got injured. Yeah,
Mm,
and to reinforce their decision, they didn't offer him a contract either.
okay.
So in his situation, he was actually free to sign for some other club. which he did. He signed for
Right.
Sampdoria
Okay.
for free. For free.
Mm.
And at the end of their appeal, Sunderland was still ordered to pay the £9.5 million fee that they had agreed previously. Basically, when you add up the cost, it took Sunderland to appeal, blah, 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 all that. The figure is closer to like 20 million.
Oof.
So they basically paid 20 million for a player who didn't even play for them and signed for another club immediately.
Yeah.
That's so bad. I mean, honestly, it's such a
Yeah.
bad situation, but great story to tell.
Yes. Very good pick. My pick is also Sunderland.
Ah, I know.
It's Jack Rodwell.
Yes. We mentioned him in another episode
Yes.
earlier.
Yep. So Jack Rodwell, when he was at Everton, tearing it up, won the kid and all, went to
Mm-hmm.
City, didn't do anything. And then for some reason, after 2 seasons of nothing at City, Sunderland signed him,
Yeah.
gave him a huge contract, and then
Yeah.
didn't do anything there. They got relegated, and it turns out that his contract didn't have a clause where his salary is reduced when they get relegated.
So basically, they're stuck with him. Yeah.
He's earning more than some other teams pay their entire lineup.
And he's still flopping at
Yeah.
this point,
And he's
right?
still flopping. Yeah.
Definitely Jack Rodwell. Very
Yeah.
good choice.
So my final centre mid, I had another Man United flop that Chelsea signed in Juan Veron in mind.
Uh-huh.
I went with Paul Pogba.
Paul Pogba.
Mm. And it
Hmm.
actually pains me to go with Paul Pogba because I actually really like Paul Pogba as a player. I wasn't
Okay.
one of those people who said that he's shit or he's the reason Man United are bad or whatever, but people expected a lot out of Paul Pogba.
Yep.
And he is on this list not because he didn't deliver, but because there were times for United where he was actually, especially before Bruno arrived at United, he was the player creating the most chances, making the most tackles, making the most passes and all.
Yep.
But for a player that United released for nothing to go to Juventus, bought him for 100 million, and then released him back for free again to Juventus.
Yeah.
And it's not that his entire stint at United was filled with success and performances. He had some amazing, amazing performances. The game where United come from behind to beat City 3-2, that he inspired that comeback. There was a game against
Oh yeah.
Newcastle, so I think 2-1 or 3-2 United win. Again, he was behind that. But he just never lived up to what people wanted from him. Maybe unfairly, because he was never going to be the Keane and Scholes in one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of external pressure, but I think, if you look at all the drama in his life, not entirely his fault, by the way.
Yeah.
He really has to deal with a lot of things at the same time, that
Yes.
kind of distracted him from his football.
Definitely. But sometimes the way his flamboyant nature and all the stuff he does off pitch, off the field as well, doesn't help matters.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
He's
For sure.
he wants the attention, but he doesn't justify it.
Agreed. Paul Pogba. Yeah. I had Veron as well in my
Mm.
list, as well as drink water. Some
I
pretty obvious choices there, I would
had
say.
Naby Keita as well.
Naby Keita, yeah. Nice.
On to our wingers.
Wingers. I'll go next.
Mm.
Right winger.
Mm.
My choice would be Angel Di Maria.
Okay. Yep. Good choice.
Joined United from Real Madrid.
Mhm.
Turns out he didn't even want to join. He actually had a good start, right? So he was player of the month for his first month.
Mhm.
And then he kind of just
Faded.
tapered off. Yeah.
Do
Quite quickly.
Do you know the same thing happened to Veron? His first month at United, he was player of the month.
Yeah. So the thing is, Di Maria also had this housebreaking thing, which made him even more not want to be there.
Mm.
And so basically he was sold to
PSG.
PSG indeed. So
Yeah. I really, really wanted Di Maria to be a success at United. I thought he would be. And you know that team it was under Van Gaal with Di Maria and Memphis Depay on the wings. It's like so good. I mean, on paper, so good.
yes, agreed. Di Maria at the time was kind of like very trendy, informed kind of player.
Mm.
It was like a huge travesty that Real Madrid actually forced him out of the club
Because of
Ozil, was it?
No, it was basically Bale had come in and they
Bale. You had to
but Bale
free up.
and Di Maria still played together for one season. The
Mm.
Champions League final where Bale scores the header
Hmm.
against Atletico, that was from a Di Maria cross.
Yep.
But they wanted to buy James Rodriguez as well.
James. It was James. Okay. Okay. So who's your right side?
My right winger is Nicola Pepe
Pepe.
for
Wow.
Arsenal.
One
They
good
had signed,
season in Liga.
yeah, they signed him from Lille for 79 million pounds.
Wow.
So again, I was still working for beIN Sports at the time, and I was
Mm-hmm.
working a lot on the French league. I remember
Mm.
there was a game I did Lille against PSG where Lille beats PSG 5-0.
Okay.
And Nicolas Pepe, 1 goal, 2 assists. Amazing. He destroys PSG.
Yep.
Arsenal signed him on the back of that season, and he had a decent start, but it just faded very quickly. He actually scores when Arteta uh, was appointed manager at Arsenal. Nicola Pepe actually scores in Arteta's first win. But Pepe is one of those players that Arteta phases or forces out, along with like Ozil and Aubameyang and a few more.
Yeah, in
So
his like cleanup of Arsenal,
yeah,
basically.
which has worked, but Pepe for so much money just never never really showed any sort of consistency.
Yep. Nice. Good choice.
So my left winger
Mm-hmm.
is Alexis Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez. Yes.
Yeah. Arsenal to Man United for, well, the fee has never really been established because it was sort of a swap deal with Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Yeah. But the salary though.
Yeah. So Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal for those last 18 or so months was probably the best player in the Premier League.
Agreed. Yep. So on paper it's exciting, right? On paper
Yeah,
it's an
when United,
exciting swap.
you would think it would be like when United signed Van Persie from Arsenal, right? Winning us the league.
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez goes to United on a bumper contract with like 300, all about 400,000 a week plus a stupid appearance fee and bonuses and all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nothing delivered, nothing, less than nothing sometimes.
Oh, he was instrumental in that comeback win you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
That
one game.
Pogba.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
Newcastle game.
he was one who crossed for Pogba to hit the ball
Yeah,
in. So that's the 400K a week
yeah,
right there.
yeah. But that one transfer
Mm.
screwed up the wage structure at United so badly. It wasn't good before that, but it was made even worse. And the
Yep.
ramifications of that decision, of this deal, is still being felt today.
I mean that's how De Gea got his like 300
Yeah,
plus K contract.
exactly. De Gea, Martial, and all.
Good choice. I have that as well as one of my options. But my other left wing, so my left wing pick
Yes.
would be also a United player.
Oh God.
Yeah, so bad. I know. It's like I guess we're shitting on United and not Chelsea.
Mm.
Um, Wilfred Zaha.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, a lot of people forget about Wilfred Zaha because he just didn't play.
Mm.
Yeah. There was a strange thing, right? I mean, he was kind of agreed. He agreed to join United during the Fergie era,
Mm-hmm.
and then Fergie retired.
Yeah.
Then Moyes came in, and he was never seen again. And that alone, I think, is really enough for it to be considered one of the worst signings because never played, and the guy's actually pretty good, right?
Yeah.
As we've seen for Crystal Palace.
One of my other options for on the wing was also Crystal Palace, but this time Crystal Palace to Everton, Yannick
Mm.
Bolasie.
Yannick Bolasie, so good at Crystal Palace,
Yeah.
so
And
lousy
then
at Everton. I
he
mean,
went to
he
Everton
injured
and
himself, right?
he got injured. Then got injured, and when Carlo Ancelotti came in, he was fit already, but Ancelotti basically told him, "You're not gonna play." Now only notable for the Bolasie flick, right,
Yeah, yeah, on
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 FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my other wing choices, so on the right wing, I have Anthony.
Yep.
I have Bebe as well.
Also United.
Also United, yes.
On to the strikers.
Strikers, I have a striker position.
Because you're going with 4-4-2, you go first.
Yes. So two strikers.
Hmm.
The first one has to be Ali Dia.
Ali Dia. Okay,
Ali
for
Dia.
our younger listeners, Ewan, you should explain to them who Ali Dia is and who he's not.
Who he's not.
Yeah.
So Ali Dia was a man who signed for Southampton on the back of a supposed recommendation by the legendary George Weah. So George Weah, for the younger listeners again who don't know, Liberian striker, legend for AC Milan, and I think he was the last African Ballon d'Or winner, something like that. So legendary player. Apparently, gives Southampton a call, and which is bizarre in itself, really, and recommending this guy Ali Dia to be signed. Apparently, he played together with George Weah at PSG, um, and also scored for his international team, Senegal, and also played in the German second division. So Sunderland, not Sunderland, Southampton, like starstruck or something, just signed the guy, right?
Southampton managed by Graham Souness, by the way.
Graham Souness. So this makes it even more satisfying
Yep.
because I don't like Graham Souness.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently during training, they were looking at this guy and they were like, this guy can't play football. But never mind. Graham Souness still named Ali Dia on the bench.
Mhm.
And for some reason, the striker got injured or something, and Ali Dia was the only option for
Mhm.
striker. So he came on. And it became clear that he couldn't bloody play football at all. Yep. So basically, he, I think, got taken off
Yes.
before the end of the game. So the substitute got substituted.
Yep.
Pretty crazy. So that was the only the only appearance that he made for Southampton in the end. And it's truly crazy because obviously the club didn't do the due diligence.
Mhm.
It turns out that Ali Dia was a 31-year-old college student who had only played semi-professional football at best.
He apparently also scammed at least 2 more clubs in his career with a similar sort of story.
How do you scam all these clubs more than once?
I don't know. I mean, it's not to the extent of Southampton and playing in the Premier League, but I mean, yes, it has to be. Ali Dia must be in this list for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
From Ali Dia,
Mhm.
we go to Fernando Torres for
Fernando
Chelsea.
Torres, the
For Chelsea.
Chelsea,
Chelsea's
Fernando Torres. Yes.
Fernando Torres, when he was at Liverpool, when he joined from Atletico, was one of the most dangerous strikers on the planet. Like, terrifying when he was fit and on form.
Yes.
He got injured in his last season for Liverpool, had a very, very chronic recurring back issue. Chelsea had been after him for a while, and they submitted a huge fee for him, 50 plus million, right? I think.
Around 50, yeah, I remember.
So he goes to Chelsea and never really regains his full fitness. Most famous thing that he's done for Chelsea is miss an open goal against Man United.
Against United, yes.
Yeah, one of the misses of one of the worst misses in football history. So the huge fee and not really doing anything for Chelsea in itself is bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, Liverpool then used that money to get Andy Carroll and Luis Suarez. Andy Carroll, not a huge success, to say the least. But Luis Suarez,
yes,
Liverpool would
big,
not be where they are today without Luis Suarez.
Huge for them.
Yeah. That one transfer of Fernando Torres from Liverpool to Chelsea basically changed the fortunes of both clubs.
Yes. Okay, so before I reveal my final Chelsea pick, my final striker pick. Yes, well, I do have 3 Chelsea players on the list.
Okay.
Who they are not my picks, but just to mention them first, I do have Fernando Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Also Andrei Shevchenko for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
He was also really in form with AC Milan before that. Quite a hype signing, 30 million, I believe, which was quite high during that time. Arrived and forgot how to play football for some reason. Yeah, kind of like Fernando Torres, right?
Yeah.
And the other Chelsea pick that I have was Adrian Mutu.
Adrian Mutu, yes.
Adrian Mutu.
I remember he got banned for cocaine, was it, or some other drug?
Yes, cocaine. So he failed the drug test. Turns out that he was doing cocaine. Chelsea then sued him basically, and he ended up owing them the entire transfer fee that they paid for him, like 17 million.
It might be for Chelsea. It might have been for somebody else. Fiorentina. Was it Fiorentina he came from? He
Parma, I think.
scored. Parma, I think you're right. There's a goal he scores where he takes a free kick. Right-footed free kick, hits the wall, comes back, he volleys it left-footed, top corner.
Woo. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really good at the time.
Maybe that's what doing cocaine does.
Yeah. Makes you score amazing goals.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, I decided to go with Jean-Kevin Augustin.
Jean-Kevin Augustin.
Yes.
Very good.
So this guy is another guy for story, which is why, I prefer to pick him.
Mhm.
He joined Leeds United during COVID in the 2020 January window. So there was an obligation to buy at the end of the move. So it was a loan deal in January, but obligation to buy at the end of the deal. He made 3 appearances for Leeds, totaling 48 minutes, 3 substitute appearances. And, Leeds tried to argue that the obligation to buy should be voided because of the pandemic and the delay to the end of the season, blah, blah, blah. But nope, they failed in the appeal and they had to pay 18 million pounds for him. And he left the club. 18 million pounds for 48 minutes of football.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love these stories. I mean, similar to the Ricky Alvarez one.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. There were a couple of Spurs players that I was thinking about as well. Soldado, Robert Soldado. And what's the guy's name? Vincent Janssen.
I thought you were going to say Sergei Rebrov.
Rebrov too. Yes.
Rebrov at
I
Spurs.
did. Yeah, didn't do well as well. Was the strike partner of Andrei Shevchenko back in Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah, and Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we have our teams.
Yeah. Okay. So let's recap. Well, my team. I have
Yes.
Claudio Bravo in goal, Phil Jones at right back, centre back pairing of Winston Bogart and Igor Stepanovs, left back Benjamin Mendy, midfield 3 of Danny Drinkwater, Jack Rodwell, and Paul Pogba. Nicola Pepe and Alexis Sanchez on the wing, and Fernando Torres up front. Sounds like a good team, but it sounds like a team which could beat you 5-0 or get beaten 5-0 any day of the week.
Yeah, in this case, it's probably getting beaten 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so to recap my team, goalkeeper, Massimo Taibi. At right back, Khalid Boularouche. In the middle, Eliakim Mangala and Jean-Alain Boumsong. On the left, Paul Konchesky. And the 2 midfielders in the middle, Eric Jemba and Ricky Alvarez. And on the wings, on the left, I have Wilfred Zaha. On the right, I have Angel Di Maria. And my 2 strikers, Ali Dia and Jean-Kevin Augustin. So not very big names, some of them. Of course, we do have the massive names like Di Maria.
Yes.
Yeah, but my team has a lot of small names but bad deals.
Small names but big stories.
Yes, big stories, bad deals. So that's what I went for.
Yeah. Good.
My team probably can't win 5-0.
Probably not.
Even on the best of days.
When you have Ali there, you sort of kind of need to name substitutes as well, because you have to take him off.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, but then like Benjamin Mendy from my team is going to get arrested, right? So,
oh, this was fun. Hey, so do you think you agree with our selections, or do you have someone who is probably worse that we missed out on?
Yes.
Do let us know. In the comments. Again, what do you call that? Follow, basically. Yes.
Follow, subscribe, like.
Subscribe, whatever it is that you see, in the button.
Click it.
Would be greatly appreciated. Also, follow us on Instagram at GameSenseFootball. And you can also drop us an email with any topical discussion suggestions or just general feedback or to chit chat with us, at gamesensefootball@gmail.com. Yes, so that'll be the end of today's episode. I believe, Nas, anything else from you?
No, nothing else except the new Champions League is
Mm-hmm.
kicking off. Maybe by the time you listen to this, it has already kicked off. A bit confusing for some. We might cover it in the weeks to come. We'll see.
Yeah, the Swiss model.
Swiss
Yes.
model. Very strange.
Very strange indeed. Okay. Thank you for listening, and till next time, see ya.
See you guys. Be careful in Thailand.
Not drink more water.
Say hi to Ali Sissoko.